Now, from the Student Union on the campus of UW-La Crosse, it's the Mike Schmidt Football Show. The Mike Schmidt Football Show is brought to you by Honda Motor Works, your electric, natural gas, and hybrid vehicle headquarters at 4th and Cass, La Crosse. By Schilling Supply, serving businesses with critical supplies since 1897. Schumacher Kish Funeral and Cremation Services in La Crosse, La Crescent, and Onalaska. And Associated Bank. Experience the better side of banking at Associated Bank. Now, here's your host of today's program, Terry Erickson.
Welcome to UW-La Crosse. We are in the beautiful Entertainment Cafe here in the Student Union for the Mike Schmidt Football Show. The show is live streamed and it's also played back every Tuesday at 6:30. We want to begin the show by acknowledging our sponsors, Schilling Supply Company, Honda Motor Works, Schumacher Kish Funeral Homes, the Alpine Inn, and Associated Bank of La Crosse. We also want to acknowledge our guests that are here today in support of Coach Schmidt and Eagle football. Many familiar faces here this morning. And now, the star of the show, Mike Schmidt.
Yeah, here we go.
Fresh off a tremendous win over Luther that we broadcast on KQEG. Enjoyable weekend? Did you take any time off or not?
No time off with that night game and getting back into getting on our film for the next day, whether the game and then obviously our next opponent in Ripon. So no time off yet. This is kind of, I guess, my time off is doing this. So it's been good.
You have 3 or 4 things to do today, by the way, before you go to practice.
Yeah.
Stepping out in pink, Howie's. And Anyway, for those that did not follow it, there was a little over an hour delay in the first quarter because of lightning. So what do the coaches and the players do with an hour delay?
Well, we first had to figure out what were we looking at. Was it going to be an hour? Was it going to be 2 hours? You know, what was the plan on where we were going to be at? You know, and then trying to give the guys time to eat. We had to have them eat some food. We had some stuff in there, snacks and peanut butter and jellies and Cliff Bars to make sure that they're eating during that time, because when they go an hour and you haven't eaten for 4 hours, you got to keep that metabolism going and you keep getting fuel in those guys. So that was the biggest part.
How do you plan for a delay with food ready to go?
Well, we always have it in there and ready in case something like that happens. So we had the Cliff Bars and peanut butter and jellies, and so we really had to make sure that the guys were getting stuff in them right away, and then we were going to figure out how long was this thing going to take. Was it going to be an hour, half hour? Because there are NCAA rules of the 30 minutes once the lightning has been cleared from the area. So we knew we were at least 30 minutes out no matter what from anything. So get them some fuel and then try to keep them focused on getting back up and going once we came out of that delay.
A typical weekend schedule, I know there's NC2A rules, but you play Saturday, coaches meeting on Sunday, and then you meet on Monday and so on, but take us real briefly through what's expected from your players.
Well, we give the players the day off on Sunday, and they have to do a little bit of stuff on their own. We ask them to go out for a walk, and I guess that we have a bike gang now where we had about 25 of them riding bikes around the city on Sunday afternoon. So they got to do something, relatively easy to get a little bit active again. But other than that, they have the day off. And then we come back on Monday and we reviewed a little bit of the game from Saturday, and then we move on to the next opponent. And so it's kind of a nice deal for them to get the body rested up, and then we practice on Mondays, and that practice is about us. It's doing some things that we don't really always have time to, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, onside kick, pooch punts, pooch kicks, things like that we want to practice so that we're ready when those things have to come out.
You know, a couple of key parts of the game. Early in the first quarter, 17-yard pass from Yagi to Trip Soma. All of your route runners doing a great job because of your route running coach, Frank Tierney, they're tremendous route runners. And take us through a couple of those highlights. Well,
Trip Soma scores on a bubble pass. You know, we got the run pass option, and we throw the bubble out to Trip. And you know, rarely do you see a guy catch a bubble 17, 20 yards out and say it's a walk-in touchdown, but it was. We had tremendous blocking on the play by Nick Holcomb, and Tripp is able to score and finish the run. Great deal to end the game, to end that drive. We come right out, we take the ball, we score right away. Momentum's all in our hands, and really we had a great start running the football, and had a great start really momentum-wise offensively the whole way through. until that lightning came. So I thought we really did a great job. All the wideouts had a great first half and great start, and offensively we got in a rhythm right away, which is key.
Your passing game was certainly what I expected. Nick Holcomb catches nine balls, 115 yards, a TD, and certainly, again, a tribute to his skills, his experience, his route running.
Yeah, no, Nick's a great player, and you see he does it all. He's a deep threat. He's a possession receiver, and then he has the ability to catch a 4-yard play and turn it into 15, as he did on our sideline, and make guys miss. Physical kid, guys bouncing off of him. So Nick Holcomb's going to be a really good player this year. He's been a good player for the last 2 years for us, and you saw it all on display the other night, catching the 4th down conversion for a touchdown, and really making some spectacular plays in the vertical game, but also catching those possession-type routes and converting them into huge gains for us too.
Well, and you shut down one of the most powerful Division III running games in the country. Mm-hmm. They've led the Iowa Conference every single year. A tribute to your defense, your assignment defense, which is so critical, versus the option game.
Yeah, I thought Coach Hafner, their head coach, had a really good plan for us. And some of the things that we did against them last year, we had to make some really nice adjustments, and Coach Janis made some great adjustments, and they're very tiny things that you don't even notice, playing the nose backside instead of front side on the center, and screwing our safeties down to 6 yards instead of 8 yards, and some of those little details really helped us as we went, and I thought we had great flexibility. And Coach Janis did a great job getting those guys lined up in the right spots. And, we made a couple plays, we have an interception, we forced a couple fumbles, and really just played hard. Really gutsy effort by the defense down the stretch, for sure.
Quickly around the WIAC, Oshkosh, Point, Stout, Platteville winning, and Whitewater losing to Illinois Wesleyan, and St. Thomas predictably beating Eau Claire. Any surprises?
A lot of surprises, I think, throughout those scores, and really that's – our league is always going to be really good. It still is really good, but it shows you that there's a lot of new players in the league. There's a lot of turnover, and it's going to be an exciting WIC conference season this year, for sure.
Really a surprise with Whitewater losing, and I noticed that one of the coaches for Illinois Wesleyan used to be here, Reed Hoskins.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So nice win for them. Oh, it's always a surprising win when they're able to lose, so that's a good deal.
Well, good. We're going to come back. We'll have some more guests, and we're going to talk more here on the Mike Schmidt Show here on KQEG. We'll be right back.
The all-new Honda Fit gives you the flexibility of the Magic Seat with the fuel efficiency you celebrate at the pump. From Honda Motorworks.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda Motorworks.
Since 1897, Schilling Supply Company has been your single-source provider of business solutions and supplies. Their 65,000 square foot facility stocks over 3,000 items ranging from packaging, janitorial, industrial, food processing, safety, and specialty products. Schilling Supply provides the essentials you need to meet your customers' and employees' expectations. Businesses like Gunderson, Quick Trip, Dynamic Recycling, and Badger Corrugating rely on Schilling Supply to deliver the right products at the right time. Schilling Supply Company. Visit on the web or call.
Stunning from any angle, the HRV is a crossover of style and versatility.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda Motorworks.
Welcome back to the Mike Schmidt Show. Well, now we are joined by one of my friends, one of the probably most well-known guy in the city of La Crosse, former Central coach, 5 years there, MVC champs, playoffs, coach of the year, and now a long-time 23rd year at UWL, offensive line coach, part-time recruiter, you name it, Mike Anderson. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, thank you, Terry. Thank you very much.
I guess one of your goals, Coach Schmidt, when you took over last year, was to retain the guy sitting in between us. Was that right?
Without a doubt. I don't know what we'd do. I say this to everybody that'll listen to me. I don't know what we'd do without Coach A around here. So we have to have him around here for a lot longer. We constantly try to give him contract extensions and see how long we can stretch it out. You know, I think we're up to 2018 or 19 here now. We'll let him, go on the record with some of that stuff. But we keep trying to ask for more years to get him stick around. But hallmark of the program, and thankful to have him.
You better thank his wife, who retired recently from Viterbo. So she's home by herself with the dogs, and Coach is working 15, 18 hours a day. How's that work?
Well, it works pretty good. I enjoy being with the coaches and doing the things that we need to do to get UWL back to the top of the mountain, so to speak. And I have a very supportive wife that likes football and will let me do what I do.
Well, I don't know if a lot of people know, but Coach was inducted into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2012. Prior to that, a WIAC Assistant Coach of the Year. Lots of things. You're humble. You don't like to necessarily blow your own horn, but you have accomplished a great deal.
Well, thank you.
That's all you're going to get out of him
That's
on
all.
that.
I noticed training camp this year, being there the days that I could attend. It seems like there was a little bit of a different approach with offensive line play with you and the other coaches, where you really broke it down more and you taught and you worked on footwork. And it was relentless, and it showed, and it's paid off.
Well, that's Coach McGlenn. He's doing a terrific job with the offensive line, and I help him, and it's just a great learning experience for me, and the ideas and techniques that he has picked up, and we implement those with the players. And we have some young offensive linemen that don't have a lot of game experience, and so a lot of it was, hey, we're just taking this and we're going through getting the footwork down and hand placement and those types of things, because that's what's going to make us successful in our running game. And that's one of the priorities Coach Schmidt's given us, as well as our offensive coordinator, Jake Landry. We want to run the football. We want to run the football effectively. We did some good things Saturday night. There are some things that we obviously have to work on as well, and hopefully this Saturday is another opportunity.
We talked about the defense being a key component to the opening win over Luther, 27-7. But I mentioned in the pregame, during the broadcast, I thought one of the concerns was maybe only having Dylan Bauer back and 4 other replacements. But I was wrong, because at the end of the game, I said the offensive line came alive. And you protected Yagi, you opened up some holes. You must have been pleased.
Yeah, we were pleased for a first game. There were some good positive things that we could take out of that game. There were also some learning things that we could do that we definitely talked about Sunday as coaches, and then on Monday with our players, that we need to do better this Saturday against Ripon. So it was a combination. It was a typical first ball game with some real good positives, but also some things that we need to improve on.
A lot of people watching a game, whether they're watching on TV or watching it live, focus on the skilled players. But give us a real quick insight into, if you're looking at line play, what should a viewer look for?
Well, I think definitely you want to take a look at the guards and make sure you watch them, because a lot of times they're going to take you to the ball. You're going to take a look at the footwork, whether, hey, it's going to be a run or it's going to be a pass. You can key that off from footwork. And so that's definitely what you want to take a look at.
I know, what's the toughest skill to teach? I know it's run block, play action, screen, regular pass. Are one of them more difficult than the others?
Pass protection is the most difficult to teach, simply because most high school kids aren't asked to really pass block like we ask them to do. High school kids will know the run blocking game and those types of things, some of those fundamentals, but pass blocking is definitely the thing that's the most difficult for them to pick up.
For both of you now, Ripon this week, we'll be there broadcasting the game. Last year, 65-14 against Ripon, and last year you put up 536 yards based on your running game, based on line play, based on your passing game. and you gave up only 234 yards. What do we expect this week for both of you from Ripon?
Well, I think that you're going to see, first of all, we both will have a lot of respect for their coaching staff, Coach Ernst and then obviously Rick Coles, who have both been there for a long time, and have a lot of respect for their coaching staff and their team and their program. And we kind of joked about this the other day, where our programs are 1-1 against each other all time. The other, Ripon beat us, I think, in the 20s, and then we beat them last year. So this is the rubber match, so to speak, I believe. So we're excited about that. But hey, we put it on pretty good last year, but that's a whole new team, a whole new deal. They've got some really nice guys running around on the offensive side for them last year. They got a lot of guys back defensively, and think they're going to give us a really good test, especially up front. They've got a very different kind of a defense than what we're accustomed to seeing, and so I think we'll have to see how it plays out early on in the game if we can get a lead and get going from there.
Do you see challenges with offensive line, Coach?
Yeah, they're going to be in an odd front as 3 down linemen, and they will move their linebackers from stacked look to hey, we're going to defend the field, we're going to defend the boundary depending on the situation. So our guys are going to have to be locked in terms of identification as to what's going on, and then block that odd front. But that's something that carries over from the Luther game, in that one of the adjustments they made is they did some odd front, which they haven't done in the past, and so we had to adjust to that on the fly, and that's going to help us with Ripon.
Well, something tells me that you'll have that offensive line ready.
They'll be ready.
Along with the coaching staff. Well, when we return, we're going to bring up 2 guests, 2 players that were key parts of the win over Luther right after this.
The all-new Honda Fit gives you the flexibility of the magic seat with the fuel efficiency you celebrate at the pump. From Honda Motorworks.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda Motorworks.
Since 1897, Schilling Supply Company has been your single-source provider of business solutions and supplies. Their 65,000 square foot facility stocks over 3,000 items ranging from packaging, janitorial, industrial, food processing, safety, and specialty products. Schilling Supply provides the essentials you need to meet your customers' and employees' expectations. Businesses like Gunderson, Quick Trip, Dynamic Recycling, and Badger Corrugating rely on Schilling Supply to deliver the right products at the right time. Schilling Supply Company. Visit on the web or call.
Stunning from any angle, the HR-V is a crossover of style and versatility.
You'll love more miles per dollar. Honda Motorworks.
Welcome back to the Mike Schmidt Football Show here at UWL. Well, Coach emailed me late last night and said 2 key players from the win over Luther will be the guest today. Michael Garvey, Michael Santucci. Well, I guess I sort of know why you selected them, but tell the viewers.
Yeah, well, these guys both were huge in our win, and they're 2 of our best senior players for us right now, and part of this great senior group that we have. 28 seniors in all for us this year. Couldn't ask for a better group, and these 2 really exemplify what that group's all about and really what our culture is and what we're trying to do now. So obviously Mike Garvey had a great game on the perimeter for us, playing outside backer up on the line of scrimmage, and had to run all over the place, chasing down the pitch all day on Saturday night, and really had a great game coming off a bad hamstring injury in camp. So great to get him back. And then Mike Santucci, 3 Mikes up here, another Mike with Coach A, loving all that. But Tooch had his first game as a running back since high school. Played running back in high school, but was a wideout here as a return specialist here. We lost him last year in camp to an ACL, came back had a great game for us the other night. He's just such a dynamic player for us in the offense, giving us a nice change of pace, whether it's catching the ball, running the ball inside the tackles, hitting the perimeter with us, getting out on the perimeter, and being able to catch some balls at a wideout spot. Really versatile player, and both of them had great games for us the other night against Luther.
Well, they sure did, and we talked about him after the game, too, as two of our players of the game. Well, Michael Santucci from Woodstock, Illinois.
That's right.
Tell our viewers a little bit about your experiences as a high school athlete.
It was great. I mean, I enjoyed every minute of it. I was a two-sport athlete, freshman and sophomore year, and then ended up just focusing on football my junior and senior season. So.
And lacrosse was #1 on your list when you were looking to
it was,
play football?
It's kind of funny. It was they were the last school to actually come in and recruit me. I kind of had narrowed my list down to about 3-4 schools, and then ended up taking a visit up here and absolutely fell in love with the school, the town, everything.
Save the best for last.
That's right.
I know, of course, Michael Garvey from Sun Prairie, know a lot of your coaches, and when I think of Michael Garvey as a high school athlete, I think about how tremendous a baseball player you were, too. Talk about your high school experience.
Yeah, I actually came into high school being a 3-sport athlete. I played basketball, but then I realized I wasn't getting taller than about 5'9", 5'10", and I realized that wasn't the avenue I wanted to go down, but I played baseball and football, and I really enjoyed both of them. Baseball, I got a lot of success, winning state 3 years in a row for Sun Prairie, and then football, we got to the state championship game my junior year, but we weren't able to close it out. But out of the two, I loved football. I loved the team camaraderie it brings and all that, so I decided to come to lacrosse and just stick with football.
Talk about somebody that really was a person that influenced you when you were young and sort of launched you on the path to someday maybe being a college athlete.
I would say that has to be my dad. My dad played football at St. Norbert. He was like a 3 or 4 year starter, all-conference player for them. And I remember in high school, I thought about not even playing college sports at all, but my dad was like, hey, listen, if you play, it opens so many doors with the connections of people you meet and just getting into a school that you actually really want to go to. And so I was like, you know what, I'll take a leap of faith for you, Dad, and I'll look into playing college sports, and it's been the best decision of my life.
And I'll tell you, his dad is on our sideline every game, snapping pics.
Yeah.
He's all over the place and takes all our pictures and posts them all for our people to see. And he's like a part of the team, his dad is, so kind of a cool connection there, too.
So is that the way you get to be on the sideline? You just bring a camera along and say you're working?
No,
you got to be good doing it. You got to be the man.
I think the only reason why I'm on the team is because my dad takes good pictures.
Yeah.
Well, there's a little truth to that.
Yeah.
Well, but Michael Santucci, I'm sure you had somebody in your past that's like, whoa, this guy can be a college athlete.
I'd say my dad always he motivates me each and every day, probably more than anyone in my life. It was really him that just told me to strive to be the best in whatever I do and to pursue athletics beyond high school, and just how many doors college sports open for you. And I've been able to see that firsthand, so it's been pretty cool.
Well, how proud are they going to be when this goes on YouTube for the world to see, and your parents to invite the neighbors, even the ones that maybe don't want to come over to the house and watch the show?
All right. Yeah, no, they'll be into it for sure. I've got a bunch of family over in Italy too, so they'll be pretty
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Well, Michael Santucci,
Worldwide.
11 carries, 58 yards, your longest 23-yard run. Talk about quickly your thoughts on your performance, your goals for the season.
I thought our O-line opened up some great holes early on and throughout the game. We came out pretty hot. May not have finished the way we wanted to, left a lot out there, but looking forward to next week to really open up the offense.
2-year starter, Michael Garvey, you had 7 tackles, 1 for a loss. You played well. We talked about it during the broadcast. Your thoughts, what to expect from Ripon, what you want to accomplish as a senior?
Well, first to start off, what we expect from Ripon, we expect kind of a similar type of offense, less cut blocking, which is something that I know our D-line and inside linebackers are going to really like. But no, we expect a similar offense, triple option, a lot of counters, and they actually throw the ball a little bit more than Luther did. But we know they have a new quarterback. Their quarterback from last year got moved to wide out, big 6'4" guy, so they're looking to maybe throw the ball up to him, but their new quarterback is very shifty, so everyone's got to do their assignments and just trust the other 10 guys on the field to do theirs, and that's how you beat a triple option team. My goals personally for this year is just I expect to be an all-conference player. I expect to play and start all 10 games and do the best I possibly can for, give our team a chance to win. And there was one more question there I think I missed out on.
Well, your thoughts on your performance. I thought you did a great job. Your reads were solid. Your preparation was solid, and your technique. Even though not a lot of contact occurs anymore in training camp and practice, your technique was solid.
I mean, any athlete and any college football player can attest to that. You always expect to be better the next game, and there's always things to work on. So I think I can do a better job finishing tackles, maybe string plays out a little bit longer. But first game of the season, got the little jitters out of the way of a new season, and I'm looking forward to ripping next week.
Rapid fire drill. We have about 20 seconds. Major and career.
Marketing, and we'll see where it takes me.
Okay. And Michael Santucci, by the way, all conference, I imagine, again this year because you were in 2015.
That's the
I
goal.
wouldn't be surprised. That's your goal.
That's the goal.
And career, major.
Finance, pre-law, and hopefully be an attorney.
All right, an
So,
attorney. Go.
yeah.
Good. And maybe go back to Italy and help
Right.
them out a little
Exactly.
bit. With
It is.
Well, a lot of things other than football going on at UWL, Coach.
Yeah, we got a couple updates on some of our other sports here. Soccer had a good week this week, undefeated on the week, and then volleyball remains undefeated at 4-0, ranked in the top 20 in the country. Both of our cross-country teams ranked in the top 4. The men are third in the country, and the women are 4th in the country. Tennis had another good week, and they improved to 2-0 and host a couple this week, and also go to another tournament on the road at Whitewater. So. Good week for UWL Athletics, and look to keep it going.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the show. We're going to be back next week. Every Monday we'll be here at UWL for the Mike Schmidt Football Show, and a replay is on Tuesdays at 6:30. Until next week, I'm your host, Terry Erickson, thanking you for joining us here on the Mike Schmidt Football Show.
You've been watching the Mike Schmidt Football Show on KQEG TV. The Mike Schmidt Football Show is brought to you by Honda Motorworks, your electric, natural gas, and hybrid vehicle headquarters at 4th and Cass, La Crosse. By Schilling Supply, serving businesses with critical supplies since 1897. Schumacher Kish Funeral and Cremation Services in La Crosse, La Crescent, and Onalaska. And Associated Bank. Experience the better side of banking at Associated Bank. Join us next week at this same time for the Mike Schmidt Football Show.